Hello, everybody. Welcome to Volume 2 of Poison Talks. Here we have dear friend, tournament organizer, new streamer extraordinaire, and all around good fella, at Poseidon SSP.
That might have been the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you.
Well, it's a low bar. That's good.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So let's before we really get into the bulk of things, let's talk about why I chose you for Volume 2. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I guess it's been 2 years ago this month.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to my very first Super Smash Brothers tournament as a Super Smash Brothers Ultimate player in a little mall, Great Northern, was it?
Shopping Town.
Mall.
Wait, no, Great Northern. You're right. Okay,
Whatever.
No, it's Great Northern.
I went to a mall.
One of those malls.
Went to a mall and had my first ever experience with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate tournament. And one of the organizers of the event, one of the hosts, was Poseidon here. And over time, I became an event organizer myself, and I've worked with Ian in many events, mostly weekly stuff, but also a couple larger events, including Retro Game Con at the Syracuse On Center, and the Victory Gaming Championships inaugural event, which...
Yeah, that went smoothly. Very good.
Yeah. But, like... The point of all this, Poseidon here is an organization savant, we'll say, having hosted events for thousands of people over his career, and I don't know. That's him. What could I add to your bio? Current Mortal Kombat tournament forerunner.
So I'm actually running tournaments for Mortal Kombat as well every other Sunday with my friend Monstercat, you can call him. It's on his stream. I usually do like the behind the scenes, like making sure like the tournament's all set, the seating and things like that, and he takes care of the stream aspect. So I've been getting into that as well. And then I also do the BNY Slippy Saturday tournaments for Melee Online.
Awesome.
There's every other Saturday.
Awesome.
Slippy or so I guess technically Melee Online. But yeah, I run those, and Z Warden kind of took over, or Zinc, kind of stepped up and started running tournaments for Ultimate, which I thought was super cool, and they've been super, dope, and a lot of people have been entering and stuff like that. So I haven't really felt the need to organize any tournaments for that, despite doing the offline events at events. But
Cool.
It seemed like be at it, and why not?
Cool. Should Wolf be legal in Slippy tournaments? We'll get to questions at the end, okay? Relax.
No.
Relax. So yeah, another thing that you and I have in common is you started doing this whole stream thing, really doing it recently, as have I. I've been a Twitch streamer for about a month and a half, and your stream is just... when did you start streaming exactly?
I'm not exactly sure. I think maybe October or November. Sometime very early or very late 2020.
Cool. And yeah, so I feel as though in that respect, you and I are sort of kindred spirits in a way, that we're both just kind of getting into this whole thing and feeling it out together. And I've really enjoyed stopping by your Mortal Kombat streams as a Joker main, watching you beat up them boys online. It's always a joy to watch.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
But whereas I'm a Spelunky streamer, a little platformer that you're familiar with and popping back and forth, and it's a single player game that I'm allowed to, if I feel like talking to chat, pause and do, like whatever interaction.
Really cool about doing anything like that.
Yeah, but
sometimes it's like when I'm doing like a fighting game or something like that, it's like tend to get pulled away, but you can continue. Sorry.
Well, no, that's exactly my question. Like your experience in being a fighting game streamer and something you can't just pause, and something that is very live and you have to be like keyed in all the time. Is that difficult? Is that part of the fun? Is that like, what's it like being a fighting game streamer?
It is. So, if I ever stream tournament runs, I actually sometimes I'll even turn off my camera and I just won't look at chat at all. Like I'm just playing the game, like I'm running, like I'm doing the tournament, and I'm just gonna play the set, as if nobody's there and it's just me and the guy I'm playing. But when it comes to actually playing, sometimes if I notice I'm losing because I'm looking at chat, I'll like focus on the match, and then after the match, I'll answer the people's questions.
Sure.
Or like talk to the chat if something like that happens. But typically I can like go back and forth, like just like read something and like answer it like, while like I have an opportunity, because like something that's different between like with MK, which is kind of cool. Some of the combos are kind of flowchart, so like as soon as I get the opening, I could like look at chat and read while also completing the combo.
Sure. Sure. That's so, like, convenient. Like you're taking some of the mystique out of being a fighting game player here, but yeah, no, that's fine. I'm kidding. So yeah, it's been an adventure for both of us, like figuring out how to do this stream thing. But I think you're definitely doing pretty good. I feel like we're both doing pretty good. But
you've been doing it, honestly. It's been really impressive just seeing how you said you've only been going for a month and a half, and that's like everything's like so professional. Everything you have like a YouTube and you're making content like that as well. It's actually like,
well, thank you.
Really
this isn't about me. Relax. So coming from the background that you have, I was talking to a friend of ours, as we mentioned, Z Warden, a couple weeks ago, and his background is in graphic design, and that's helped him like build a stream layout and things like that. And as we talked about, you've been an event organizer for fighting games and tournaments for such a long time. In what ways has that prepared you? In what ways has your background in like running tournaments helped you with what you're doing on Twitch now?
It's helped me with like setting up as best as I can and then going with the flow when something happens. In UTO, like you will be surprised at what will come up and what decisions you'll actually have to make. And so it's kind of like having that where it's like just do the stream. Like my stream isn't really crazy elaborate at this point. Like I don't have like an overlay or anything like that. I just put my camera up there and just play. So it's kind of like taught me like to do that and then improve as you go, rather than like trying to come up with this amazing products to start.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Sure.
Yeah, and that's something in one particularly ill-fated tournament that we did together. A lot of our guests had difficulties with the funding of the event, the guy on top above us, without naming names or throwing anything else around. And that was definitely an experience as a newer organizer for me that I felt like the Manalord, one of our co-organizers, and you handled, I'm not going to say better than I did, but it's something that, you know, your background had prepared you for in a better way. So as a streamer, it kind of lets you, it's probably easier to go with the flow when you have that kind of background, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of exactly what I was saying.
Cool. But getting back to the streaming stuff, I mean, have there been any particular like hurdles that you didn't expect, like stuff as kind of a new guy on Twitch that is like, oh, this is harder than I thought, or oh, this is easier, oh, I love this, or I hate this? Like, tell me about your experiences in general.
I feel like it's actually like easier than I thought. I actually I got my Elgato like a couple years ago, so I had the ability to stream for like a while, but like I would always just I would do like research on it, and I just wouldn't get around to it. I didn't have a computer that was good enough, and then I built the computer, and then it was like I was kind of running out of excuses to not do it anymore. So eventually it's just like, okay, hey, it's gonna do it one day, and I just set it up, and I did I couldn't get the Elgato to work, but then I was running it some weird way, and then my friend helped me out, and I got it fixed and set up, and then it was actually fine.
Sure. What is an Elgato? I've heard Elliot say those words before.
Oh yeah, you don't have an Elgato? It's like essentially what you use, like you plug your PlayStation into it, and then it goes from the PlayStation to your TV and your computer, and that's essentially what allows you to capture the game.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, capture card, sure.
Yeah, capture.
I still barely know what I'm doing with any of this. But yeah, so yeah, that's something that again Z and I talked about a couple weeks ago. Was it's something that you watch streamers online or you see other people doing, is like, oh, that's so cool. I wonder if I could do that someday. Then you realize it's just as simple as putting the camera in front of you and playing a video game. Like,
Yeah.
the barrier for entry being so low is kind of awesome.
It is, because it allows like, everyone.
Mhm. And on that note, what do you... What made you want to start streaming? Is it just like, is it like me, where it's like, I'm playing the game anyway, so why not? Is it something you want to try to, like, build a community? Is it something you want to, you hope to have as a career someday? Like, what is your approach to this streaming thing? What does it mean to you?
Well, my like major goal, like we've talked about like how much HEO and stuff. I enjoy playing the game the most. I enjoy improving at the game, like Melee and MK and even Ultimate. Like that's the biggest thing. Like I enjoy like running tournaments. Like I love like the feeling you get, like in your stomach where you're like kind of nervous, but like it means it actually kind of means something. A lot of fun, and like you have like those matches, and like you end up like you get like the highs of winning, and it comes with the lows of losing too. But like that's the biggest thing is that like if I was ever going to be like something more than just someone who entered tournaments. I feel like I would need to stream as well, because like people even said like, oh, if you eventually like want like someone or like someone like sponsor you or something like that, they're gonna look at like almost like your stream presence more than how good you are at the game. So just like as an example. So I figured that if I was going to be improving at the game, I might as well also like improve my ability to like play on stream. Essentially, and
yeah, like when it comes to other esports athletes, like. When I think of the biggest Super Smash Brothers streamers, for example, like Ultimate is my game, the most recent Smash Brothers game, and when you look at like the best players in the world, MKLeo, Tweak, whatever names you want to throw out, they might not have as big a stream presence as guys like Hungrybox, who's an amazing Melee player, but in Ultimate he's not like top of the top like a lot of these guys you'd play against, but
he's still really good, but he's not
right. But he has easily like 10-20 times the viewers some of the other top players because of the online presence he commands. And that's part of Twitch. Like it's the product that you deliver on here isn't just about like the quality of your play, it's about the show you put on. But with someone like you, if I recall, you're a top 500 Melee player in the world, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to brag for you a little bit. Toss it out there.
Yeah. So yeah, that, and then no, not to flex, but I was also PR'd in Ultimate for a couple seasons. And then for MK, I would say I might be the best player in Syracuse. It would be a debate because there was two people that were like better than me for sure, but then they kind of haven't really been playing that much, and I have been continuing to play. There's 500. There are way more than 500 Melee players. There are, so it's a huge scene.
Nintendo tried to round them up and exterminate them, but a couple got out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also like when we talked about like why you're streaming. I think it's kind of important for like the longevity of like a game. One thing for there to be as like as much content as possible, whether that's someone who's really good at the game or someone who's just learning the game. Like I think if you like I guess I have like ambitions to like put more of a mainstream appeal around esports and things like that, like video games. Right. Some people just like see video games as like this thing that like you do like in your spare time, or it's something that like is generally seen as kind of a vice rather than something that like you strive to like improve at, and it's more like an escape rather than like an actual thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I would love to see like a change in that, and I think the only way to do that is for to produce more content and to like get it out there, and the more people that do that, just the easier that's gonna be.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because again, you were doing the Smash stuff for a long time, but when I entered the scene with my buddy Magnus, who's in chat, Magnus Smash, hello Magnus. When we entered the scene and brought it to a larger venue because I happened to know the right people, and started streaming our tournaments online, I was always surprised at the number of people who would come to Magnus at the end of tournaments, because Magnus was the guy who ran the stream, and would say stuff like, hey, it's so cool to have our tournament matches live. It's so cool to be able to see my plays on YouTube. It's great to be able to go back and watch our content. And it's something that, like, in the context of somebody streaming these tournaments, streaming other stuff that other people are involved in, it's easy to forget the effect that has on just the everyday tournament player, the everyday Spelunky player, for example. Like, I have a bunch of my regulars in chat who, you know, love seeing themselves on stream and like will load it up and go back and watch VODs and things like that. And I think that's such a cool thing. For one, that we can bring to the community, like you were saying, and for two, just to be able to go back and like tonight, you're running a Mortal Kombat tournament, and afterwards you can go back and review the stuff in real time. Like that's not something that without a platform like Twitch would be able to do. You know?
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be able to at all. So like you can just like go back and see, in terms of like just like general improvement. Like you like even you like it's, any video game in general, like you can just go back and like watch your stream and be like see where you messed up and not make the same mistakes again. So,
yeah,
so it's really cool. It's a cool platform. There's so many like varying aspects that are positives.
Definitely, and for me, a lot of that manifests in I do something dumb and die, and people clip it to laugh at it, which I also enjoy. I enjoy that more than I let on. But with someone like you who's coming at it from the perspective of, like, you want to get better as a player, as a competitor, like, I think that's a really important, it's an important tool to have. It's a really cool tool to have at our disposal, you know?
Yes.
And
it's important as well.
And on that note, to the next question, I know you mentioned not Skash, not am I pronouncing his name right? Not Skash.
Yep.
I've noticed you guys both stream a lot of matches that you do together. So in a lot of ways, it's a collaborative effort of yours.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and is that something you see as a way to grow your platform with that collaboration, or do you feel like you have more luck with what you do on your own, or like what are the ways that you're trying to grow your channel, your business, I guess, if we'll call it business, and what's working for you? And
so actually, you say that. So I know a lot of people when they stream, they actually also have a Discord, and you have a Discord and your Discord. A lot of those streamers do. I actually, me and Notskash, we use the same Discord. Like whenever I like post them going live, I put it in there first. It's like called Notskash, so essentially his thing, but like I figured it would make more sense for us to try to grow that one thing instead of me having my own thing. Although like you can still get people in that way. But like often like when we like so like I said, we're streaming tonight, we're doing a tournament, and we're doing it on his channel. You know, you can have like the Nightbot commands, like he has a Nightbot command set up, so it's like and he always like mentions like, hey, drop the ball to the side, and he streams a lot of MK and stuff like that. So I figured that it's kind of like a route, like we work on that, and then eventually they'll be run off to me.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's cool, like seeing as we had in our Smash tournaments. Like that's not something that I ever felt like I could run on my own or would want to run on my own. It was very much a collaborative effort from you, from Draxel, from Manalord, from all the guys who build and continue to build. And I guess that becomes the nature of you being a tournament organizer too, and you playing a game that you can't play Mortal Kombat alone. I mean, I guess you could, but story mode streams probably wouldn't get the attention of a lot of people. Would be less interesting in story mode tournament.
Or like,
yeah. But yeah, man, that's an interesting take. And while we kind of started this journey together, it's cool seeing you taking a different approach and still finding success.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's cool to seeing you do the same thing with like Spelunky. I actually didn't even know what Spelunky was. Like, you introduced me to the game.
Oh, Spelunky's dope. But yeah, I know you have a Mortal Kombat tournament in a little while, so we'll get to wrapping up soon. We'll take a couple viewer questions, but is there anything? Is there any advice you would have to, like, someone who's in our position where we're just getting started, whether it's with fighting games, Mortal Kombat, or Smash specifically, or just streaming in general? Like, what's your advice to someone who wants to do what we do?
One, just do it. Like,
you
if
said
you
the same
want
thing.
to be a competitive player, enter tournaments. If you want to stream and you want to be like a big time streamer, whatever, just start streaming now. A lot of people have like this fear, and I think the big thing is like just like like failure. But like every time you fail, you're just gonna get better at doing it. So it's like we kind of think that like failure is going to set us back. Like we do it and we don't achieve it, we're in a worse off position than we were previously. But realistically, you're actually in a better off position because not only are you're getting over that fear a little bit by a little bit, but you're also you're also working toward
You're doing good.
So you're essentially working towards something. So it's essentially a grind. That word's kind of overplayed at this point, especially in like at least my friends say it's overplayed when I say it. I always do like a stream.
No, you're totally right. What's the saying? Like, to apply an old expression to streaming, what is it? The best day to start streaming is yesterday. The second best day is today.
Yes.
And exactly. It's just a matter of, if you feel like doing it, just hop on and do it. And it's cool. It's cool to look back on even your first couple streams, even if everything goes wrong, even if you have been doing it for a while and your sound gets screwed up every time you try to do anything. Like, whatever your failures are, it's still like, you can look back on the VOD and like, I did it. I did a thing. I did a thing.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And even if it's as simple as that. And like, so I think getting over that is a big thing. So like I said, if you want to be a competitor, and then like I said, you just start it and then you figure out ways to get better. Like essentially like like playing competitive fighting games. Like you find it, like you play a lot and then you find out ways to practice, and essentially you can get more efficient at it. So you can essentially dial back the amount of hours you play or put in and still yield more results.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more of a niche question, but in general, like, I don't think, at least for me, I wouldn't be streaming Spelunky, and I don't think you'd be streaming Melee in general if we were in it for the money. It's just a cool thing that we get to do and share with people, and I've said it a couple times already, but I don't want it to sound cliche. I mean it. I'm glad to have you along on the journey. And it's always nice to have your name pop up in chat, and it's always nice to watch your stuff. And thank you for spending some time and talking to me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, fun. We're gonna take a couple of viewer questions here, and then I'll let you go. First and most important, what is the tastiest Pokemon?
The tastiest Pokemon? What's the isn't there like an eggplant Pokemon? That one's probably good, right? Like you can just pick the eggplant off. Just Pokemon that like grows fruit. But like one like the generation ones, right? Like generation 1.
Well, I mean there's Exeggcute or Togepi, like those are food-based Pokemon. An eggplant Pokemon?
Togepi's an egg, but like isn't there one like the maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Balls to a tree. Like that. I don't know if any of them will be like good enough to eat. I don't know. I'm trying to get into the meat version of that, so try to go like more of the vegetarian way about it, and ones that just create food.
Yeah, it's like if you eat a Paris, is it like, is it a plant because of the mushrooms, or is it a bug because the chitinous? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's stupid. What would you say, as long as we're talking about Smash Brothers, as we were a moment ago, what is in Melee your most and least favorite matchups? What character do you love? Do you love fighting? What character do you hate fighting?
I love fighting Captain Falcon. Just because it generally tends to be a fast-paced matchup, and she kind of destroys Falcon in terms of neutral. Like, Falcon can punish the crap out of Sheik, so like the more I play and the more high-level people I play, I obviously don't dominate as much as I do, but it's like you get the punish of like a Spacey, but you don't have to worry about being punished as hard, or as quickly at least, because you get punished as hard. So I really like that matchup. It's one of my favorite, either Falcon or Peach. And then least favorite is probably Puff. Because a lot of reasons. I can go into the details if you want me to.
No, we have some Puff players in chat. Let's not offend them. Shout out to SRM and Dirtleby. Where'd it go? Well, Magnus asked earlier, should Wolf be legal in Slippy tournaments? And I guess we can take that to a question that's closer to what I would want to ask. What do you think about mods in the online games you play in streaming, and therefore in like a tournament setting? Like, should skin mods be okay? Should character mods be okay given the proper setting? What do you think?
Character mods, no, because when it gets a little sticky when it comes to a man-made, not man-made, but like a third party, essentially, like a person just creating it. Because Wolf is kind of broken. Like if it really got up there, Wolf might be the best character in the game. So they could easily just create a character that's the best, essentially, and it could really shift the meta like that. And so yeah, I think it gets a little sticky. So I think anything in terms of outside, in terms of playable characters, just because of it can kind of ruin the balance of the game. Integrity. In terms of stages, though, I feel like it could definitely be explored, and especially if they prove to be just as like the aesthetic matches what they are. Because I know when it comes to design, like sometimes it could be like it looks like this way, but it actually the properties of it are different. So if over time they prove to be, then there could definitely be more exploration in terms of legal stages. That the Melee has kind of been on the lower side for like Ultimate.
Yeah, well,
I've seen stages.
That's fair. I think of Project M, like some of the really cool stages that were never even in the game, like the Emerald Hill Zone stage or the Green Hill Zone stage, the Sonic stage, where it's got the one moving platform. Like that's a super cool stage. And I think there's a lot of in Smash in particular, there's a lot of unexplored territory with that, just because Nintendo doesn't like it when you do that, you know.
Nintendo just doesn't like it when you play the game.
There's a lot we could say about Nintendo. We'll leave it alone. Well, we'll take a question from the last interview. What's been your what's like your favorite stream moment you've had so far from Mortal Kombat, Smash, anything? Like what's the clip you look back on like, oh, okay.
Favorite stream moment? Is this like on my stream or just being on stream in general?
Sure. Your favorite thing that that's happened to you so far.
What's happened to me? That's a good question.
I know that's a tough thing to put you on the spot, just because a lot of what you do is like just grinding out matches.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost more like, I mean, like in terms of entertaining, so like weird stuff. That can happen. I would say there was this one time we were playing a King of the Hill, so it's like in Mortal Kombat, essentially you have like 3, 4, 5 people, and like winner stays on, loser goes to the back of the line, essentially. And we have a friend we play MK with, and he tends to rage. I'll just put it nicely. So
sure.
There was a time where the guy like grabbed in a situation and he just screamed, "I fucking ducked!" Like he screamed it so loud, and then it was like silent, like awkward silence for like 5 seconds, and then my buddy Notskash like says it again. He's like, "I fucking ducked!" And then we all just start dying laughing, and that was one of my favorite moments, probably.
Sure. The little moments that come from not even necessarily the game you're playing, but the people around you. Like I definitely feel that. Yeah. I mean, matter of fact, you can check out my latest YouTube video for a nice little collab moment, a little co-op moment. But we're not here for me. No, we're here for you, and I'll say one more time, thank you for coming by and joining me. Thanks for talking to me. I'm gonna let you get out, prepare for your tournament and stuff tonight. Everybody in chat, if you're not following Poseidon, check him out. Twitch.tv/PoseidonSSB. We still have that shout out command, right? Is that, there we go. Go give him a follow. Take a second. Follow him on Twitter too, and go cheer him on when he gets some fat Joker combos later tonight.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man, thanks one more time for hanging out. And any parting thoughts?
Thank you for having me. Good luck on your endeavor and streaming. You've been killing it, and I hope you stick to it, because I think consistency is one of the biggest things, and you've shown to be pretty much very consistent since you started. So I hope you keep it up.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go play Spelunky and die a whole bunch, but
simple as that.
But yeah, man, if I ever pick up Mortal Kombat, you'll be the first one I tell. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go on a quick break. One more time, Poseidon, thank you. And all right, we'll catch you later.